Yeah, I did change, and I'm really glad I changed.
This one's wife. Why is she not dismayed by the familial rift? Hello, I'm hgtudor. One aspect of my work is to help people understand the behaviors of the narcissist. Whether it is the narcissist that you have an involvement with, for instance, in a romantic relationship or a family member, or unraveling the behaviors of a prominent, famous, or infamous narcissist, where you're left scratching your head wondering, but why did they do that? Repeatedly, I see across various forums, in the below the line sections, people posing questions where they're befuddled, confused as to the behaviour of certain people, particularly this one's wife. And it provides me with an opportunity to extract the relevant question and answer it so they now understand why this person behaves the way that they do. The simple answer to a question which I saw posed recently, which was, why is she not dismayed by the familial rift, is because she's a narcissist. However, whilst that does indeed answer the question, we need to expand upon it. This one's wife has a substantial familial rift. She has disengaged from her father, her two half-siblings. She doesn't appear to have had anything to do with members of the Ragland side of the family for quite some time, other than her mother. Aunts, cousins don't seem to be visited, aren't mentioned, not photographed with, not since at least childhood. Her in-laws have become ostracised. She has not visited or had anything to do with Charles, William, with Catherine, with her nephews and nieces, George, Charlotte, and Loose Cannon Louis. And thus, on both sides of the family, there is a rift. We know that this has been created by this one's wife. She has portrayed, undoubtedly to Harry, that there was something that had gone wrong between her and her father, which has compelled the ginger one not to question the fact that he's never met his father-in-law. But she has been the one that decided she wouldn't want to have anything more to do with her father, nor her half-siblings, and thus, in effect, disengaged from those non-intimate secondary sources. She has blamed members of the royal family, claiming that, in effect, they made racist comments in relation to Archie, that they didn't make her feel welcome, that they didn't provide her with support and help, and has repeatedly leaked suggestions that she deserves an apology from them before she will consider having anything more to do with them. Madam, as ever, is at the heart of matters, and she is the one that has created the rift. Thus, a particular commenter posed the question, why is she not dismayed by all of this? Why doesn't she look at the fact that she has basically involvement with only one family member, her mother? Isn't she dismayed by the fact that this is where she is, a woman in her 40s, who is married, but has nothing to do with so members of her family? Doesn't that upset her? Doesn't that trouble her? Well, naturally, the answer is no, it does not. And the reason is, it's her narcissism. There are plenty of people that I consult with who found themselves in difficult situations with narcissists in their family, and it upsets them. It upsets them that they realise that they've never been loved by a particular parent. It upsets them to realise that their son or daughter is pathologically problematic. It upsets them that they're not able to have a full relationship with a sibling. They are dismayed by that because they have emotional empathy. They would want to have a relationship, and a good one, with that family member, because ordinarily that's what happens. You stick together with your family, that you support one another, that you have a rewarding relationship with them. But when it comes to the narcissist, this one's wife has no emotional empathy for those family members. They are toasters in the same way as a friend or a lover or a husband is a toaster also. She is not dismayed by the familial rift. Although she might portray that to certain people, yes, it upsets me that I don't hear from my father. It upsets me that I don't have a good relationship with William and Kate. That is in effect a lie. That is being said for the purposes of seeking to elicit sympathy from the listener. It's a pity play. And it's done to assert control over that listener and draw fuel from them. The manifestation of apparent regret and dismay at the state of affairs. But it isn't genuine. She isn't dismayed by the familial rift because she has no emotional empathy. She has no conscience. She has no sense of remorse. She's not dismayed because her narcissism has essentially told her, you should have nothing to do with these people because they've been a problem to you. You are completely within your rights to cut them out of your life. You've done the right thing. Thus, Thomas Markle Sr. is disengaged from. The narcissism tells her that is what you must do. He is a problem. She disengages from her half-siblings. They are a problem. Have nothing to do with them. This is not done with any sense of regret or a heavy heart, because she was never attached to these individuals. She simply attached them to her. Her narcissism does not allow her to be emotionally invested or attached to anybody else, because that is a shackle upon her. It would be a threat to control. And thus, whilst other people will be emotionally invested in her, that the ties will bind in their direction towards her, she never binds with anybody else. She will bind people to her, tie people to her, but she can walk away at the drop of a hat. This is why the narcissist so often ends the relationship and does so seemingly carefree. It is because the narcissist has been designed to do that, to walk away from a relationship and focus on something else and not be affected by it. Because to be affected by it would demonstrate that the narcissist cares, and the narcissist does not. Caring is the threat to control, it's a shackle, and therefore the narcissist cannot care. The narcissist is designed not to. Naturally, a narcissist can give the appearance of caring in order to dupe somebody into being controlled, but the narcissist doesn't actually care for anybody. Thus, she is not dismayed by this familial rift because her narcissism is designed to prevent that from happening. She's not dismayed because her narcissism tells her that she, as always, is in the right, that she is the victim of poor behaviour from her in-laws and other members of her family. The narcissism dictates that they no longer provide anything of value to her, and in some instances positively are a hindrance, and therefore, subconsciously, causes her to believe that there is no need to have anything further to do with them. Because she has no sense of obligation, because that's accountability, which is a threat to control, she doesn't think, well, notwithstanding their foibles and idiosyncrasies, they're still family and I should have involvement with them. They're not viewed as family. They are viewed as the appliances, there to serve her needs. And if that appliance is faulty, subpar, or positively a hindrance, it is jettisoned. And it is done so without an iota of regret, remorse, or any sense of conscience. And thus, the familial rift, which has been caused by her, is seen as her being the victim of the behaviour of others, and that she has responded appropriately. Hence, there is no dismay. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.